let's chat about another little haul I did. So these are super cheap celeb perfumes, and I think the most expensive one here was probably £11, which would have been this one. I think these came from different places, but I don't know if you can maybe get them all in the same place. These are Luxe Perfumes, I think it's called. Maybe for this one as well. And this one might have been Direct Cosmetics, because I think they have all of the, most of the Michael Buble ones for super cheap. But I'd tried the original By Invitation by Michael Buble, and I really didn't like that. I thought it was really sickly sweet, way too much patchouli. It was a bit like... was it like a fruit chewy? I just couldn't get on with it at all. I really didn't like that one. But I loved the bottle, and I also love rose gold, and I thought, because it's so cheap, I'm going to try this one, purely because I kind of wanted to have a bottle in this style. So this is rose gold by Invitation, and let me try and get this off. What I have to say is, although, to be honest, I just don't like the perfumes that he makes, but I like the quality, if you see what I mean. I'm just going to move all these up while I do this so you can actually see. Another lovely bottle, you see? Really good quality. This wiggles around in here, but it's still really firm, and it looks like it might be a sprayer, but the lid actually just comes off like that. But it's designed to look like an old-fashioned sprayer, which I think is super cute. So anyway, so this is By Invitation. This is a rose gold flanker. Okay, let's have a look. So the notes here, top notes, red fruits, pear and magnolia. Middle notes, rose, plum and peony. Base notes, praline, vanilla and cinnamon. So I was like, ooh, this one doesn't have any patchouli in it. Maybe I will like it. Maybe it will be great. What I will say about this is that I can't really recognise what the smell is, but there is still an ever so slight smell. And I bought this maybe 6 months ago. I've had it for so long, I just haven't got round to actually... Okay, you get the red fruits immediately. That's the first thing you get, as the top notes would suggest. And then it starts to get sweeter. And then it gets sickly to me. This is so weird as well, because I don't know how it still sort of manages to smell a little bit like a fruit chewy despite not being having patchouli in it. I don't know. It gets quite sweet. And I'm just not sure about this one. I don't know how I feel about it. I can really get the red fruits and the pear, actually. The praline is definitely very noticeable in this. Very noticeable indeed. I'm definitely going to have to try this one. I might actually put it on my skin, because the last time I smelt it, I really didn't like it. Although it would have been much warmer weather, so maybe now I'm smelling this in like cold weather. We'll see. Let's give it a spray. I'm going to let that dry down. So this is compared to, its top comparison is Hypnose by, I think that's Lancome, but it also is compared with my most hated perfume, which is the original Ghost by Ghost. That is a combination of rose, peach and an incredibly sweet and sickly vanilla, and it's like one of my worst ever blind buys, because it's just something about it that just really freaks me out, that particular combination of smells. So I mean, I'm not really sure that this one particularly smells like Ghost, but okay, I'm going to let that one dry down. I might have been too hasty about that one, but it might just be that it needs to be cold for me to be able to appreciate it. I don't think it smells massively original or particularly interesting, but I do think it's quite pretty. It's actually so much nicer than the original. The original one I absolutely hated. This one I think is probably much easier to wear. It's a little bit more... I don't want to sound rude, a little bit more generic maybe, and a little bit more mass pleasing. I think the other one, there was a maturity about it. There was something grown up and slightly vintagey smelling about that perfume. It might just be the way that the patchouli was playing around in it. But this one, it's just kind of sweet and fruity. There's nothing like insanely interesting going on about it, but it's okay. I do love the bottle though, so I'm definitely going to I'm going to give this one another chance and see, because on my skin, the pear's coming out quite strongly. And if I can find something to love about this, then it means I get to keep this cool bottle. So we shall see. Now, moving on. I'm not going to get into too much information about who Jade Goody was, because if you're of my age, you will know. If you're not of my age, then all you need to know is she was a Big Brother type celebrity, and there was a lot of controversy and tragedy, and she died very young, sadly, because of the hellish thing that is cancer. But I'm hoping that her children get the money from the sales of these. I assume that these are discontinued. This is another one of those bottles that annoyingly has a stupid bow on it that's really getting on my nerves. So just for now, I'm going to take that off because I can't spray it otherwise. Now, bottle wise, it's got these kind of, I don't know how to describe it, like indentations. It's actually kind of cool. It has like the cheapest, worst lid you could possibly imagine, which is a bit of a shame because the actual bottle is hefty, thick glass, really easy to spray because of those indentations. It's really easy to hold. So this particular perfume, I can smell it from the bottle, and there's something magical about this. So the sprayer is absolute crap though. Sometimes it just won't spray. I don't know what to do about that. Anyway, it's a good job I like it, because I wouldn't be able to sell it really if it's in that kind of state. Right, let me put this back on. So, I kept seeing these really cheap on Luxe Perfumes, and I was like, oh, they're so cheap. I didn't even know Jade Goody had ever released any perfumes, but okay, let's have a little look. And a fragrance YouTuber that I really like, if you haven't seen any of his stuff, he's called Ouch110, and he loves this perfume. I'd seen his review on Fragrantica, because he wrote a review of it, and I've seen him talking about it on his channel, and I was like, okay, I'm going to check this one out. And I'm really glad I did, because this is a really nice perfume. Now, it has a maturity about it. It doesn't smell like this is a perfume that has been designed with like teenage girls or girls in their 20s in mind. This is a grown-up lady-like perfume. Its top comparison is Coco by Chanel. But I would say this would be so much of an easier wear, because I find Chanel perfumes often, like the old school ones, I find them quite spiky, and the patchouli's a bit sharp, and it's just not very smooth. I find them quite aggressive smelling. This is very soft and smooth. It's not horribly strong. It's a bit fruity. There's a patchouli in this, but it's kind of... It's not one that bothers me, which is weird, because I really often don't like patchouli, let alone in these kind of perfumes. So the notes here are top notes of cassis, bergamot, citrus, middle notes of cinnamon, cumin, rose, iris, pink pepper, jasmine and freesia, base notes of patchouli, vanilla, amber, sandalwood, moss and musk. It's unusual but also recognisable. So it has a general vibe. This is exactly the right colour for how it smells, if that makes sense. I do get the cinnamon. I get citruses. It's almost like there's another fruit in here that I can't quite... Maybe it's just it might be the cassis actually. It's less leafy and more like a slight berry vibe, or just a slight syrupy berry vibe. It's sweet, but not like cloyingly so. I don't know that I'd necessarily be able to pick out any of these flowers. What Ouch110 said, does he call himself 110? I'm going to apologise if I've got that wrong. I was always calling him Ouch 110. That's what I always used to say. But anyway, the way he described this is to say that it's like all those flowers create a new flower. Like he doesn't know what this smell is. And I kind of get what he means. I think that might be the spices in it. I think the cinnamon and the cumin mixed with the fruit and flowers gives this quite a strange smell. But not strange in a bad way. And the patchouli, I would almost say that if you've smelt Lord of Misrule from Lush, that is a patchouli that, although I don't wear that as a perfume, I really love the way it smells in the shower gel. There's just there's something magical about that. It's not muddy, it's not dirty, it's not sharp or spiky. It's like a really nice patchouli. And I feel like this might be veering in that direction. There's definitely like oak mossy smell in it. So if you don't like vintage kind of vibe perfumes, although this is definitely like that, what I'm trying to say is it's soft. It's like soft and cozy and comfortable in a way that I think some of the actual vintage kind of old school Chanel perfumes aren't. And some of the chypres, some of the oak mossy things, you know, some of those are hard to wear, harsh. This isn't harsh at all. It's super soft. And it's really pretty, but it doesn't smell modern, you know? That's what I'm trying to get at. It doesn't have a modern smell. But I think it's pretty, and I like it, and I'm happy to have it, to be honest. It's one that I don't think I need to keep the box for, you know? I'm just having another whiff of By Invitation, and I can't smell it a huge amount after sniffing this one, to be honest. It's just kind of a sweet smell on my arm. Okay, so this one I really like. This is Controversial by Jade Goody again. Oh, this is a hefty bottle. It's so heavy. Oh my goodness. Ridiculously so. It's unwieldy in its heaviness. But yeah, another one, it's even slightly redder juice and slightly darker juice. It's also got a very rubbish plastic cap, but the actual bottle is a bit of a beast. This sprayer actually works, I think. That's good. All right. Yep. I think this smells so soapy, but in a really comforting way. So comforting. Yeah, I like this one a lot. I wore this to bed, like basically the first day I got it. I think it's lighter than this one. It doesn't have quite the same kind of... It must be the blackcurrant in the other one, because there's a sweetness in this that is slightly fruity and syrupy. Okay, this has patchouli in it as well, but I actually genuinely can't smell it in Controversial. Okay, so here there's not anywhere near as many notes listed, but I'm not entirely sure if this is accurate for how it smells. So top notes, red berries, middle notes, frangipani and tiare flower, base notes, amber and patchouli. And it's definitely frangipani, and the red berries are bright and juicy, but it's also sweet and cozy and kind of almost like classic aldehydic, but in like a super soft and fluffy way. This is so pretty, this perfume. I really like Controversial, and this one I think I would happily like wear in the evening, like to an event or something, because I think it smells grown up. It smells like a woman who's got her S together, and it smells like you're in a black dress at a nice event. This one is just so cozy. And in the deep dry down of this, it gives me the same kind of vibe that the Adam Levine For Her does. It's not the same notes. It's a totally different floral. It's not quite as vanilla-y, you know, it's not as sweet. But it has been compared to that one, and I think it's less that it actually smells like the same perfume and more that it has that warm, enveloping vibe. And it's crazy that there's no wood listed for this, because I could swear that there's like a sweet, powdery sandalwood in it. It's really nice. I really like that. This one was something insane. I think it's like... are they supposed to be? Yeah, I think they're both supposed to be eau de parfum. This is 100ml. I think it was about $6.99. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Both of her perfumes are absolutely worth buying. They're both really worth buying. I'm impressed with them. They're pretty old school. If you watch, like I do, Ruth Ann McKinnon, I'm absolutely sure that she would really love both of these. So if you like the same kind of perfumes that she does, if you like that kind of vibe of kind of cozy, soapy, kind of slightly more grown up smelling perfumes, then I think you might like these as well. This is Gloria Vanderbilt. This was another one. This is way less than a tenner for 100ml. Eau de toilette, but it's still quite powerful, I'd say. So it didn't arrive with the box all battered like this. It's because I brought it home in my bag and it got absolutely squished. So I'm going to take it out before I smash it all over the place. Right. This is kind of cool. Okay. Another one that's slightly soapy, I'd say, aldehydic. So it's a big... I might actually move things around a little bit. So let's push that one over there. Let's push that one over there. Let's put this in the middle. It's a big old swan. Look how thin the bottle is, though. It's really crazy. I don't think I've ever had a bottle that's that big from this way and that. It's like, woo. This... I'm still working this one out because there's something I love about it. But then there's also something saying, can you actually wear that? I don't know. Okay, when you first spray it, it's almost fizzy, effervescent. It's got like a real kind of fruity kick to it. I'm trying to get it so it doesn't blind you all. And then very quickly, the florals come through. Oh yes, the top note. Okay, top note, aldehydes. Soapy. So... the top notes here, this is a classic perfume, but this is the current formulation of it. So I don't think it's anywhere near as strong as it used to be, but apparently this one hasn't been butchered in terms of how it actually smells, you know? Trying to shit, yeah, look at that pretty swan, that's better. Okay, so top notes, aldehydes, pineapple, orange blossom, lavender, bergamot and green notes. Middle notes, carnation, tuberose, ylang ylang, orris root, jasmine and rose. Base notes, vanilla, sandalwood, cinnamon, opoponox, civet, musk and vetiver. Now those are probably the old notes. I'm guessing they won't have real civet in it anymore. I don't know if they've jigged this all around a bit, but you definitely get the aldehydes, you definitely get the pineapple. You really get the ylang ylang, the tuberose. Definitely a bit of lavender. You get the greenness. But there's something kind of strange in the dry down, and I haven't been able to work out what it is. But it's also weirdly magical. Yeah, this might be one of those that I really kind of admire but might not be able to wear. I have tried it on my skin and I couldn't help but go back and smell it, but every time I smell it I'm like, what is it about this that's weirding me out? I don't know what it is. It's quite strong, it's amazingly good value, and it's super feminine. Okay, I'm going to look at the votes for the original Gloria Vanderbilt. I don't really know who that person is. I think she's an American celebrity, or was back in the day anyway. Okay, I feel like there's something 80s powerhouse about this. Oh, okay, interesting. That might be what's going on here. So, main notes. So the top votes, aldehydes, definitely. There is a soapiness to this in that classic aldehydic, perfumey 80s way. And then the next vote is for carnation. And I struggle sometimes with carnation. There's not a huge amount of perfumes that are very strong in carnation that I enjoy. So that might be one of the issues. And then tuberose, which is the bit I like. Vanilla, ylang ylang, sandalwood and cinnamon. And definitely agree. Then you've got the orris root, so you've got the irisiness. The pineapple's quite low down, but I really do think this has a fruitiness about it that's coming directly from that pineapple. I'm just going to click on a Popanox because that one's quite high up. Intensely sweet, balsamic, warm, spicy. Maybe that's why this is smelling a bit unusual to me. I kind of can't stop smelling it, but I don't really know whether it's one I want to be wearing. Do you know what I mean? But it's kind of enthralling. I don't know. I don't know if this one's going to survive in my collection at the moment. These are all kind of second impressions more than first impressions, but I haven't worn, actually no, that's not true, I've worn both of these and I really like them. So the comparisons here, let's see. Oh, they've got, is it Le Bleu? Le Bleu? Is that how you pronounce that one? Okay, some of the old Oscar de la Renta classics. I'm just trying to see if there's anything here I recognise. Oh, yeah, there's a couple of the... Oh, Poem. Okay. Charlie Red. Yes, okay. So Charlie Red is one that I think has a slight vibe of Poem. There's something kind of yellow florally about both of them, but Charlie Red has quite a lot of peach in, which I can't abide. I absolutely adore Poem. It's kind of like a bouquet of yellow flowers, but it's quite tuberosy. It has a dry down that smells like kind of vanilla custard to me. It's gorgeous. It almost smells like there's like beeswax and honey in it, but there isn't. But it's glorious. I love Poem. And I've got the current formulation, and I think, well, that might not be true. I think they might have just reformulated it again because it kind of disappeared from the market for a while and now it seems to be back. But from maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, I've got that formulation and I love it. And people get funny about new formulations, but I think it's really wearable and lush. But this is more aldehydic. It's citrus. It's kind of like tangy from that pineapple, so it's a slightly nose tingly. It's nowhere near as sweet as Poem. It's not as sweet as Charlie Red either. Ooh, Eternity. Okay, so yeah, generally quite old school smelling classic perfumes, but I think like if you like those kind of smells, I mean, I imagine if you like, I'm just going to click on it real quick because it's small. Le Bleu from Gloria. So, oh yes, interesting, because it does have violet and it's got quite similar notes actually. Iris, it's got like, that's got lemon and violet and cloves and ylang ylang, tuberose. Actually, yes, I can kind of see that it does. There's something about the pineapple in this Vanderbilt one. Original Vanderbilt, that does have like quite a violet-y vibe about it, because like you've got like the powderiness from the iris. Yeah, you've got the powderiness from the orris root, and then you've got the other florals, and then you've got the pineapple that's making it almost fizzy, and I think mixed with that lavender as well. You almost would think that there's violet in this. Interesting. Okay. So maybe that's a good answer. Maybe if you like Le Bleu, then maybe this would be a really, really good budget option, you know. It's certainly an absolute bargain. It's quite a cool bottle. It's just really groovy. But yeah, so generally speaking, 2 that I'm definitely keeping that I really like, both Jade Goody, who would have thought, and 2 that I'm not sure about, but I think are both really good and good value, even if they don't end up staying with me, you know. It all depends how wearable they are to me, but really, really good haul, this one. Like, they came from different places and at different times, but like I'm hauling stuff, I'm showing you stuff together because I've these are quite new. This one I've had for ages, but really absolutely worth buying any of these, or all of them if you're absolutely outrageous.